Alright, everybody, we are back in Soar the Birds, and we are going to travel across Norfair in some fashion. Apparently not that way. Oh my goodness, those birds are... Anyway, just ignore them, they'll go away. Continuing the theme from this hack, we are going to go all the way around to the other end of this submap, which Norfair is a massive submap, so that's going to take a little bit. But it's actually not quite as much as usual for redesign because, you know, it's not actually clear to the other side of the planet, which is sort of surprising. You would think he could have worked that in some way. And actually, no, that's what that is. You know, that is one way to prevent green gate glitches. Just remove the switch from the gate entirely. And I can actually, since I have grapple, I'm going to go and grab this energy tank now because, or at least I hope it's still an energy tank. Because I only have 2 of them, and I want more energy because this is redesign, and energy is pretty good to have in general. That's something I don't understand what is hard to comprehend about it, or what the thought process behind it is. But hackers, people who make hacks, don't like just giving players enough energy to beat the game. Now, I'm definitely not against getting the player to explore. If the player doesn't explore, that's often the player's fault, in my opinion. But like, if you're making things easier or whatnot, that does not include removing something. So in the normal redesign, and okay, good, still energy tank. And the normal energy tank. In the normal redesign, you have 3 energy tanks when you first enter Norfair, because you need them for the heat run. So that's the level you have. So, and this is sort of the logic that I'm seeing in this hack. There's also in Eris 2012, where, you know, it's like, okay, I've made it easier. That was kind of close. And, oh, great. So my. Maybe this other side is air. Not solid anyway. Okay, good. I can't get out of here. But yeah, what was I going on about? Something about... Oh yeah. So, like with making things easier. So it's like for the person who's made the hack, it's like, okay, this is now easier. At least for them. And so to balance, and if I could make air quotes right now, I would be. But to balance out making it easier, they take things away to put the difficulty back up to where it was. At the very least, just take the difficulty back up anyway. Maybe not back to where it was, but they raise the difficulty for no reason other than it's like, oh, this is too easy. I should uneasy this, which was actually the goal in the first place, so that's kind of stupid. In this case, instead of 3 energy tanks when going to Norfair, 3 energy tanks guaranteed. You have to collect 1 to unlock the door to Norfair originally. And then the other 2, if you didn't get them, are right there at the elevator. Now that's no longer the case. And the one in Criteria, I could have just skipped entirely. At least the one sort of toward bombs. That was not... whatever. There is something up there, but I think it was just a missile from the original. But that whole thought process is just... it's completely backwards. Like, the goal of redoing the hack was to make this easier, more accessible, and... oh, no. More morph mazes, because I can at least see, but morph ball is also so ridiculously slow, and this hack is already ridiculously slow in pretty much every way, so and there's power bombs down there. That lava was kind of scary. Okay, good. Got that. But yeah, why... It's a good thing that's there. But yeah, it's just... silly what people rationalize in their head. Open something up somewhere. And I can't double bomb jump. Oh my goodness. And also, with requiring these double bomb jumps, the bomb timer thing is still... I mean, not the bomb timer, but the fact you're limited to 3 bombs is just silly. Like, the only reason to do something like that is for artificial difficulty. Like, well, 5 bombs, they can get through this a bit too easy for my liking, so I'm just going to limit them to 3 bombs, because that's going to not just limit them, but punish them if they use all 3 up before a timer goes out, and I don't actually want to go that way. And this is... well, this is going to be interesting. So that's something I can't actually get to. And it's okay. So, I guess I'm going back through here. That was an amazing choice. But it's okay, we get to enjoy our morph ball rolling so slow even more. Yeah, it's just some decisions with stuff I don't understand at all. Like, if the goal is to actually make it easier, then it shouldn't be that difficult to just make it easier. I know it sounds simple and kind of stupid, but I don't think people who work on these, have redone hacks to make them easier, really get that. Because like this with energy tanks and whatnot, because Redesign already didn't give you very much energy to begin with. Those 3 were like the only guaranteed energy tanks in the whole hack. Those are the only ones you had to collect, and the rest were all hidden. Like, they're not out in the open. And with Eris, where things are easier, so now you don't need the ability to get evasion early, which actually makes things more difficult. And because things are easier, you don't need 10 super missiles for your first supers. You only get 3 total. Again, the thinking is just backwards, and it undermines the whole... Oh my goodness. Well, we have an hour to talk about this now. But it undermines the whole reason for making it easy in the first place, because you're just undoing it. I mean, easier is going from an enemy taking 10 shots to an enemy taking 5 shots. Not an enemy taking 10 shots to an enemy taking 5 shots, but now dealing twice as much damage to balance out that fact that it takes half as many shots to destroy. That's not making it easier. That's reducing one thing to make another thing harder, just to balance it back to what it was before. And that's what, you know, people do sometimes, and it doesn't compute. I'll put it that way. I want to know exactly what universe they are living in where that makes sense. That's kind of where I'm coming from when playing this hack, is I'm looking to see that this is actually easier, and I know there's something up here. It's not power bombable. Supers. Okay. Is that another super block? Interesting. Actually, I know there's something up here because I saw some of BL Soldier's playthrough of Redesign. So yeah, there's 10 missiles hiding up here. Or a 10 missile pack, rather. There's another one I missed in Criteria that I saw that's, I think, is actually in a really good hiding spot, but we'll probably get to that later. But yeah, that's just... Yeah, it's a danger of watching something before you finish playing something. Because, like, oh, I skipped over something right at the beginning, but I've played through the beginning, so I should be safe, but not really. So, the question thing on the map is where Speed Booster is, which is our next item. And if we tried to get there in Morph Ball, it would take 4 hours. But yeah, there's just things that people do that make no sense whatsoever, and it's kind of just ridiculous. And I do want to check, because there was a thing. Door's locked. So yeah, I don't need to check that door anymore. It is locked. I am kind of curious if Drew just ran out of ideas for enemies. It's like, oh, a bunch of Metroids hanging on the ceiling. That works. And then just sort of moved on. Between that room and then this room. Especially with this room, because it's like 6 of them hanging around the ceiling in that spot. And there's nothing there. I do like that the damage in lava has been changed as well. But you see, that kind of also plays into the whole rebalancing things back to where they were, because it's like, oh, lava deals less damage now, so we'll make acid do even more, because that'll balance it back out to what it was. Easier. Lava deals less. I don't know. So yeah, if I sound overly critical or harsh of this hack, it's because I am looking at it to try to see that this is actually easier or whatever. Because, quite honestly, hacks who have attempted to be easier have not been very successful at doing that. For various reasons. Even though this is really only the second one where I believe that was one of the main goals. So that door will drop us down there. Sort of. Oh my goodness, Disky is. Even little ones. So, going all the way around here. And thankfully, there is a save right here. It used to be the closest save. I also like how the enemies completely ignore going in saves. Go around it. But it used to be the closest save to Speed Booster was at the top of the elevator in Burnstar. So should you fail the Speed Boost escape, which is almost certain, on your first try, you are at the very least going back to that save and have to go all the way back around. It's like another 5-7 minutes or something to get back there. And the original, something like that. So the save being closer by, that's an improvement. And this room looks relatively unchanged. Well, this is slightly different. No more shine sparking up that. And bowls. And that was slightly different, so those are speed blocks. There's still a Deskiga right there. And we've got Speed Booster. Now we just have to get out of here alive. Which is another reason I wanted to collect that energy tank, because it'll help me survive if/when the lava catches up to me in this room. Which seems like a very strong possibility. Or I could actually make it through. Interesting, this extra ledges actually did help. I can approve of that. Speed boost escapes. Oh, good lord, not this. These stupid things take forever. But speed boost escapes are kind of hard to do. Because on the one hand, you want there to actually be a threat. Oh, hey, look at that. There's a speed boost thing on the map as well. Speed boost. I mean, that's... I like that. That should be a thing in hacks. I really do like this map. And I completely forgot what... Oh yeah, speed boost escapes. So yeah, speed boost escapes. They're kind of hard to do. Because you want them to be... And you can't really charge a shine spark fast. But speed boost escapes are kind of hard to do because you want them to be sort of, dangerous, threatening to a player. You collect an item, or speed booster rather. Though you could do it with any item. Like Z Factor does it with Varia. Collect the item, and then lava starts rising. It's like, now there's danger, or whatever. The way Super did it was there was danger, but the only real danger you would be in is if you stopped holding left. All you had to do, well, I guess you had to hold the run button too, but you get the idea. You grab it, lava starts rising slowly in that room, so you're like, oh no, it's starting to panic. Or whatever. Like, I have to get out. So you run out the room, and lava's rising in that room. And by just holding run and left, you get out without an issue. And I am not charging this very well. But you get out without an issue. You don't get in the lava or anything. And, it's exciting. It was something unexpected. That was kind of weird. So when you do something like that in a hack, I mean, the natural thing... Oh, great. Acid. Looks like there's a way to get back. Or... This is highly suspicious. Oh. Okay. It's a folly down room. Yeah, one of the natural things to want to do with stuff in a hack is to, increase it, make things more difficult. Usually. Up the epicness of something, whatever. So you have something like the Speed Boost Escape where it's like, this is a great part of the original game. I want to make it even more so. Do something grander. And, oh my goodness, this... Okay. Okay. So yeah. So when, that idea... That was a good shot. When that idea happens, then it's getting to a point where, stuff like that is now becoming actually dangerous to the player. Whereas in Super, it was kind of a sort of, not falling for this. In Super, it was a kind of fake difficulty. Well, not fake. It was a kind of a fake danger, because all you had to do... Okay, it's just those. But all you had to do was hold your run button in direction, and that's it. That's not the case in hacks, because, hacks want to advance things, want to take it up another level or 10. So you get speed boost escapes like this one, which this one actually was definitely better. There were ledges this time. So if you were caught, you still had a chance of getting out. If you were caught in the previous one, and I know this from a lot of experience, if you didn't get high enough up, that was it. You were done. And the closest save was back up on Brinstar, which if you didn't save there, have fun. Or at least the closest save on the way. And that's still locked. So there's also a hack like Limit, which has the grandest speed boost escape of all, despite being even older than Redesign, I believe. The Limit was one of the very first full hacks. I believe it predates Redesign. Because believe it or not, Redesign is also one of the first full hacks. It was one of the early ones. But Limit has this massive speed boost escape. And the thing with that is, for a lot of it, it's hold right. The guy who made it did some things where you collect items along the way, so it stops the player because it's the full item music and all that fanfare and stuff. So that plays. That was also a good shot. Yep. It's another cave-in, because why not? Just run through. And there's no spike block. That's interesting. But we get wave beam up in here. There was no question thing on the map. It's kind of curious. But we've got wave beam now. Which, honestly, thanks to its firing rate and lack of power, it's kind of a useless beam until you get your beam combo thing. It's kind of sad. It's like ice has a purpose just because freezing enemies creating ledges. Wave has a purpose because gates. It's like these artificial barriers, and that's all the beams are good for. They don't actually help that much with general enemies and stuff like that. It's like, man, these are just here to advance. They're not really going to help you otherwise. But yeah, Limit had some interesting things with the speed boost escape. So one instance, you kind of run up and there's a ledge. You collect an item, so you're stuck there for like the 7-second fanfare. And I do want this reserve tank in here. Unless this is no longer a reserve tank, which actually I'd be fine with. It'd be great if it was an energy tank. That was good. But collecting that item stopped you so that you could say, oh, I need to jump real soon. And I did not want to go through this door. It did something later similar where it gave you another item before you're supposed to charge a Shine Spark. I just want to get through this. Thank you. And it's still a reserve tank. But it's something. Now I got these things marked on the map. I really do like this map. It's a great map. I mean, the features on the map. Power bomb, speed boost things. Even the hints. But yeah, the thing with the Shine Spark thing was this camera didn't scroll or whatever. The item thing worked for the ledge. It did not work for the Shine Spark thing. But that's a story for another time. For now, this is going to do it for this video, so thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one.